So we're live. Welcome to our Pacific Rim US stand-up. Here today, it's just me, João, and Vijay. So Vijay, tell us about your day.
Good.
Good. So what have you done?
I am reviewing this job seeker model for changing the function names, and I'm working on jo- job seeker without JD.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
other and
Do you have any blocker?
I did it, but it's not displaying the data. I'm checking where it is. Unable to. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, me. I today I reviewed like 3 PRs or 4. I'm not sure. I merged 2 or 3 of them, and I'm still waiting on a comment from on one PR from Patrick. I also helped. I believe it was Mega. I'm not 100% sure. Let me check. I think it was her. She had some issues
Yeah.
with it.
Make
With
your
yeah, it was Mega.
task related.
Yeah, task related issue. She had some issues there, so she came talk to me, and I think I explained to her what we wanted to do there, and I think she understands what we need there. So we're good. I just fired up my IntelliJ to see if I could go a little bit on the Java side. No, not gonna happen. But okay, that was it for me. Uh, Patrick, hello.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I totally forgot. It's just no excuse.
So today, tell us what happened there.
So I had another call this morning with Tongwei, Mega, and Sanja, and we went through their progress right now. I've produced a lot of PRs, talked about a few comments we've made. We voted on 5 or 6 stories because we're running out of stuff to give them, and we talked through each story. So as they take them, they'll have a rough idea of what to go and how to attack them. So I think they're now in pretty good shape. And that was it. That's all I had time for today. So the blockers, and after this, I want to understand your comment, Hua, on my PR about the passing a string around, and get a better sense of what it is you're getting at there. And that's it.
Okay, so do you have any blocker?
No.
No? Okay. So, okay, so back to your previous question, Vijay, the 284, the job seeker model. Um, uh, I don't think these functions can live inside the job seeker. The assign to job developer and assign to case manager. I think these should be functions that each agency person should have. So instead of it being an instance variable, not a class thing, because each person, each agency person should be able to get their own agency people,
Instance.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I was saying there, up there. Okay, so I believe for the functions uh, like which are the ones? Let me see. The yours job seekers JD. Uh, agency person dot. Mm, uh, mm, nice name for this. maybe something like job underscore developer off. What do you guys think of this?
What does that method do?
It's the one that's going to replace the your job developer or something like that. Let me find out again. The your job seekers job developer and the yours job seekers case manager. So not a class function, not a class method, but an instance method of agency person. That's called job developer of, and it will return a list of all the job developers.
You're showing it as a class method. You meant instance method?
Do you want me to? I
Change.
can try. I can try to.
Oh no, you don't need to. That's better, but not exactly what you're.
It's an instance method, not a class method.
Yep.
So create.
So
Two guys are okay with the naming?
I guess the only other thing would be something like there's a lot to type. So agency person dot job seekers as job developer. So the job seekers assigned to this agency person in the role of job developer for the AP. Does that read better? Make no difference.
Let's see. It's quite big, don't you think?
Job developer of is pretty good too. It's just I gotta remember job developer of, what does that mean? Oh yeah, that means job seekers assigned to this person as a job in his job developer role, which is what my method more states explicitly, at least to me. And my way of thinking about this could be totally different from everybody else.
So what do you think, Vijay?
I think this method is listing all the job seekers is assigned to that job developer. We're getting.
So do you prefer job seekers as job developer? Was that what you said?
You want to think about it and decide later? Flip a coin? Doesn't really matter, right? Whatever you're
Yeah.
comfortable with.
Do you need an agency person in front of the job seeker, or anyway we are writing under the agency people
So
model?
I just, because
Yeah.
it's an instant, I just created this variable called AP, standing for agency person.
Yeah.
Just to, well, why don't you think about it and decide yourself either way. Either way, it's fine, I think. I mean, think about it and
We
decide
three are
later.
agree.
You don't need to decide now.
Okay. The other two methods were assigned to job developer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can roll with them, with those functions, with those names for, and using them as class methods in order to retrieve all the job seekers. So I'm going to update
Okay.
up to so I added there. Oh, forgot to write everything.
What number is this, by the way? Oh, this is 284. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, we talked about that yesterday. Yeah.
yeah. That is the same.
Let me just edit this. So here, boom, and CM. Okay, so I just updated the comment there. I added the comment on it. Okay, so you're set. Patrick, what I don't like is to have the assignment of a string into multiple places and use that same string around. That's what I didn't like on the solution there. So let me go back to it, see if I can get the PR. We are using this AA and the CA for what currently?
I mean, the whole idea is that we have a company view, and the view of the company, the controls available, etc., are different depending upon whether you're just a normal user or whether you are a company administrator or an agency administrator. For instance, when you look at a company, as a company administrator, there's an edit button. When you look at a company as an agency administrator, there's an edit button as well as a delete button. So it's that type of thing. And the reason, to be honest, I know it's not very restful what I'm doing here, the way I'm mangling the URL. But this is, at the time, a quick way for me to set the context in which I'm viewing the company and send that down to the views. So I certainly don't see this as a beautiful thing. I'm certainly not wedded to it by any means. But I want to understand what your concerns were. It's not maybe canonical Rails by any means. So that's certainly a factor.
So the thing that I didn't understand it was why were we passing the type of the user that we currently have on the URL? Because we have that information. Our pets user need to be checked, right? So our pets user has functions saying, am I the case manager? Sorry, am I the agency administrator? Am I the company administrator? And we can use those functions in order to do what you're saying. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's some of those functions I'm using to determine what the admin type should be that I send down to the view. Um, I don't
Do you
think.
think we can do that with these functions?
I absolutely can do. So I just want to make sure that it's not more cumbersome and a lot more method calls to do it that way. I suspect it's not. Um, so I can go ahead and change this. If I run into an obstacle where it makes more sense to do it this way, and I doubt I would, then we can talk again. But
Okay.
yeah.
You don't look convinced at all.
No, I'm trying to remember my logic for why I thought it would make sense to put the admin type in the routing pattern. And I think it was one of those flip a coin type things, and I chose that. It's not very elegant for sure.
That was the thing that made me a little bit confused on the full PR was why were we getting. I could understand the strings if we needed to get them from the URL, but from what you just told me, we have all the information that we need inside the controller. So if you want, you can do something different. That is, create an instance variable on the controller, saying current user is admin or is company admin, and you just call that function once on the controller and use that variable throughout the.
That's actually what I'm doing. If we expanded the controller code, that's what that logic is doing. It's setting an instance var.
Yeah, but what it's setting is a variable with a string. What I'm saying is that create a Boolean variable that's saying is, let's call it, is
Well, it can't be Boolean. It's got to
admin.
indicate 3 different types of user, right?
No, but it's not one. I'm okay. If we need 3, we can add 3 variables, and one called is admin, is company admin, is AA, or is whatever, and then use that variable throughout if you want. I don't like seeing strings being passed around because things change very easily, and little things sometimes will just pass by and problems occur. Yes, no.
So
If you
it's
want to
not.
abstract that into a function inside the another concern. What's the name of that? If you want to abstract this logic into a function that can be used in a view, I'm okay with that. But having strings scattered out with information around the code that need to match and everything, I don't like that. Because it's a very easy point of failure.
Okay, so I thought you were objecting to the fact that I'm passing the admin type in the URL.
Both of them, two
So
things.
you're also okay.
My problem is the string that's being passed, and
But
also,
if I had
and I don't understand why it's being passed through the parameters as well. Those are the 2 things that I didn't understand.
so aside from the parameters, one way that you think would be good would be have an instance variable, 3 instance variables, all booleans. One is CA admin, the other one is AA admin, and the other one is, well, I'd only need 2 because if both of those are false, then I've got just regular user. Is that what you're thinking?
You had a concern. The concern was that you didn't want to be calling functions the same function a lot of times, and I completely understand that. And in order to minimize that, we can just add that call once and store the value into a variable, and then use that variable throughout the code. That's the solution that I was proposing in order to minimize the amount of calls to functions.
So that variable though could still be a string. Admin type could still be a string, but it's determined through a separate method rather than.
If you want to do it as a symbol, I'm okay. If you want to do it as a boolean, I'm okay. Not as a string.
The problem is I have 3 different. I can't do it with a single boolean.
You can do it. Okay. I think we're not communicating here. I am trying to solve the problem that you had, the concern that you had about calling a lot of times functions, the same function.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that for each function that you need to call, you store the return value into a variable and use that variable throughout the code. What I'm saying, so if you need to check if it's an agency admin, you'll call the agency admin to check if that user is an agency admin, and if it is, you store that value into a variable. You check if it's a company admin. If it's a company admin, you store the value into another variable, and then use the conjunction of these 2 variables to understand if you need to display a button or 2 or none.
No, I got that. So let's say that's the solution. I have 2 Boolean variables that are passed around. Why is that more elegant than a single string?
Strings are much more prone to error because it's a string and you can put whatever you want there. While a Boolean variable, it's a Boolean. It's a true or false.
Mm-hmm.
That's That's the thing is, usually when you want to use strings in order to pass things around, you just make them as constants. The only way to make things as constants as a constant in Rails is to do a symbol. But we want to be creating symbols every time that we create. We call the controller. I don't see what we gain with that. So I think it's easier just to have everything into variables. If you don't want to do that, you can just abstract. If you want to keep the strings, but I don't want the strings scattered around the code, so we need to create a function inside. I forgot the name of that thing. Into a function that's inside the controller and that we call. What's the function views model? I don't remember the name of that.
Function what?
The helpers. We create a function inside a helper, and we use that function from the helper. Or multiple.
Okay.
No, yes, no, maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I don't share your concerns with strings because of limited use here, but that's okay. I can
It's
I
not
can make
real
it.
use. If you see the PR, you have the AA like 3 or 4 times, and CA is mixed in also 3 or 4 times, and I'm not comfortable with that because I know that sooner or later that something will change, and we'll need to change that specific string into multiple places because that doesn't make sense, or we need to add anything else, and one more string is going to pop up from somewhere, and that's what I really don't like about strings there.
Yep. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay. Helpers are visible in controllers, aren't they? Not just in views. Is that correct? To get the.
I think they are not really.
I
I think
didn't.
you need to call it. Where's that? I think in the application one, the controller of the application, we do have a method. You need to call a method for that. Let me check.
We create helpers in the concerns actually, and we actually add them so that they're available to the controller. Let me see if that looks at that.
Controller. We have things like helper method. If you see the application
Yeah,
controller,
that's right.
you have the helper method function that will add the methods that you need from a specific controller, from a specific helper to the controller. But for the views, they should be available every time.
Yeah, for the views. So I will just put this helper into the helpers directory, a folder, and I'll just call class.helper method symbol in the controller, and it has visibility to that. Okay. Yep. All right.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes. So I am going to meet with the folks, the morning crew, let's call them, on Thursday again this week, not tomorrow, not Friday. I'll probably have to create more stories or line up more stories for us to vote on. They're chewing through the stories pretty quickly, which is good. And then next week I'm on vacation, and I'm going to be in that place where I don't really have Wi-Fi all that available to me, so I'm not even sure I can connect up with them at all that week. So what we tend to do is we connect at 7 a.m. Eastern time, and it's 4:30 p.m. India, and it's 7 p.m. Singapore time. So do you think that if I can't connect up with them once or twice, at least twice I would say, during that week, that you could connect up with them 1 or 2 mornings of that week, just to go through where they're at?
At 7, I doubt it, but you said next week?
Yeah, not this week. It's next week.
Yeah, I think at least one day I'll be at home, so there won't be any problems connecting at 7. But the other day I might need to connect at 7:30 or something around that.
Oh, that wouldn't be any problem.
Around work.
They're both flexible. They're all flexible. And I hope by Thursday to have enough stories queued up where we vote on a bunch of stuff where they can almost go on autopilot
Okay.
for that week. But it would be good if you could check in at least once during that week with them,
Yeah.
see how things are going. Yeah.
Okay.
And I may be able to do that as well, but I think it's going to be iffy.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll do that. I'll talk to them and I'll try to schedule with them a date for that.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Good. Thanks.
Anything else?
Nope, not
No?
from me.
Okay. So I need to fly. I'll see you guys tomorrow and have a nice evening.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.